Hello, 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 guys. I think we're live. How are you all on this beautiful Sunday? I hope it was more beautiful than my Sunday because it was not even raining. It was like just dripping down from the sky nonstop the whole day, which was kind of meh. Not the most fun. So it was the same for you guys. And yeah, aren't Dead by Daylight killers always sweaty as fuck? I think that's like the whole Dead by Daylight thing, being sweaty as fuck. But yeah, tonight let's talk game dev again. Let's do some programming. Let's see how far we can come. Because we've been pushing that along quite a while again. But before we jump into programming and stuff, let's talk about the big news that dropped like last week. Fair enough, yeah. It's when they don't have school, they can stay at home the whole time, play the game. Makes a lot of sense. But let's quickly talk about the big news that happened in Unity, which is they found out that for around 8 years now, there is a big vulnerability in Unity, which allows people to sideload literally any content they want on startup of applications, which can lead to harmful code being executed on your PC, which most of you probably don't want. So what that means is literally that also here you have a list of all the versions that are now out of support because they all have the I mean, yeah, you say Unity is ass, but then again there are a lot of games that were made in Unity, like Welcome to the Game 1, 2, Scrutinized is in Unity. Then you have like Digimon games that are in Unity. The Pokemon Legends games are in Unity. There is a shit ton of games, even from like big studios that are all made in Unity that all have that security issue. So probably telling you guys about it is not the worst idea ever. So yeah, what can happen is literally you can elevate privileges like that, and you can execute code like however you want, and that works with like the startup commands you can put in. Like you probably already did like minus dx11 or d11 for like running a game in. Oh damn, Siswi, hello. You guys probably already put in like in Steam like a minus D11 or DX11 to run games in DirectX 11 instead of 10 or 12 or whatever. And yeah, just like that, you can do site loading from literally anywhere on your PC. So that is, by the way, also how a lot of mods work. Yeah, but harmful code can be executed like that. And currently, Unity has like a binary patch tool which you should use on most any of the Unity games you're currently using so that you're on the safe side. There is also like a DLL you can just download and put into your folder. Yeah, the company has terrible business practices. That is true. But luckily, they reverted back from most of the ones that were really harmful. So I guess it is actually fine. And I'm looking pale as fuck if I have my light directly pointed at me. Not that I look less pale now, but oh well. Oh, that's good. If they have updated automatically, there is a bunch of developers that are probably not actually looking at their games. Just to point that out. Also, for anyone who wants to make a game, your Unity will probably look like this. Where you have a big red caution sign right next to it. And it tells you like, oh, this application is built with a editor version that is really bad. What you should do then is head to install an editor and just choose one of the ones that is here. Uh, Probably best if you take like one that is the same version, like main version, that you have. Like if you want to program in 6.0, you should probably take 6.0. Sucks if you want to do it like in Unity older than 21.3, because none of these are anymore there for you to download, which sucks, but I guess safety first, so yeah. And after you installed it, how you literally go about doing that thing is you click on one of the games, you choose the up and downwards file, and you click on the new one you want to upgrade to. You can also select the platform. In my case, it's only Windows because fuck everything else. And then you just click on open with this, and then it's like, oh, are you sure you want to change it? You click on change it, and then you get like a bunch of prompts that you need to click through, and then boom, it's there. It's gonna load for quite a while. As you can see, it's gonna go brr. And this, by the way, is, I think, a mostly empty project that I started once and never looked at again. So if you want to be fast on programming, that they plan in a pause. But anyway, it goes now. It rambles on. We could abort it, but I want to show you guys that you get like a couple more prompts afterwards, so just that you know what you need to go through if you change the version of your editor to work out how it should be. By the way, now you see it's still like on that version. This is like the streaming project we have. I did that already just to see what would break when we update, because there is a shit ton of things that break when you update. Which will probably be working on most of the day today to unbreak things that broke. Because there's a couple of funny bugs now happening in the game. I tested it briefly and it is funny, to say the least. So you see it's nearly done. It's at 59 out of 60. So we'll wait just a minute longer because like the package installing is usually what takes the longest. And now it should open up a second Unity editor fairly soon. At least that's what I hope. Yep. There we go. Now it's actually running the whole opening process and starting everything up how we want it. This also, mind you, if you put it on like a slower hard drive than what I do, because I have it on an NVMe SSD right now, like it's gonna take forever if you open up the project again. But luckily at some point it's gonna be ready. And then I can show you guys what you need to click to be able to run the rest of your Unity project as it mostly was before doing all the other stuff that like re-enabling everything, reprogramming a bunch of stuff, because that is what we need to do today. It's gonna be ready soon, says we. No worries. It is just to show people how this actually is gonna look like on their PCs most likely, so they don't panic. Because I would certainly, if I wouldn't be like that error resistant on Unity Engine, I would be panicking at the moment where it just stays on 54% for like 2 minutes straight. But while this goes on and on about, let's just hop into our actual project. And as you can see, it looks mostly the same. But there is a funny thing happening now if we click the play button, which you will see right now. You need to give it a moment to load everything though. And now look what's happened to us. We're moving. And not only are we moving, we're literally also jumping and then we're falling off. And we're still moving, and I have no idea what causes that effect. That we're all of a sudden drifting to the side like a madman. So we'll take that as inspiration to actually fix the whole... Hey Ben, what's up? Yeah, the character is gliding instantly to the right side. Which also doesn't change in which direction he goes after we turn around the camera, so we change the direction he's actually going, so... This is gonna be an interesting one to fix, not gonna lie. Okay, so while this goes, we'll jump into the code, but what we'll actually also do is we're gonna make it clean, so instead of just going crazy in there, we're gonna make a new class, which we're gonna call FP Controller. Okay, now you don't need to open anymore. Now we can wait a second. I mean, Scratch is a pretty good one to start out with. Not gonna lie. I think Scratch is like really, really good. Okay, so guys, now you have it, the other project. Let's quickly go through that. What usually happens is you also get another prompt that all your models and materials are not in the correct rendering pipeline. You can ignore that error because that is because I didn't set anything up in this. Which you would want to click yes on. So, yeah, worked out in this case. Not sure if we get it if we go to assets, scenes, and go to demo scene. To sample scene, actually. Import. Okay, probably works because I did it on the first project already. No, I didn't. That is a preset that you can buy. It's the one where all the Phasmo house residential houses, like, what's it called? The 3 house maps that look nice and not run down. Those are all from this one asset pack. Which you can buy on the Unity asset store. It's like a couple bucks. But yeah, let's go now and try to figure out how to fix that issue with our player being a drifter. Yeah, it's like all the Willow Street, I forgot the other ones. Like, if you write me the names, I would remember, but it's like, yeah, this is the same art pack from all the houses like Willow Street. Okay, so first of all, what we can easily do is put that in, because we know that we are going to use all of this. And we're going to actually not say anything about like if and enable input system, because we know the input system is enabled, so we'll just keep it at that. Which means we can take all this, put it in over, because that shouldn't be the issue, it's not working, and we can put in all this, which also shouldn't be, Control Z, Control C, which also shouldn't be the issue why it's not working. Sure, ask me any question you want. If I don't know, I will tell you, which there is a chance for that, obviously, but I will try to help as much as I can. Okay, and then we have those bools, which mostly we created from how messy they look. So we're gonna put them in as well. And I'll definitely keep that in because that is actually a good one. Oof, that's actually a tough one to answer. I would say you can probably get like 10 to 20% of stuff for free on the Unity Asset Store. With like 80% is probably paid. But like Lydia is saying right now, there is a lot more websites you can go to. Actually, since you asked that question and I'm not too stringent about going through anything in order and not jumping around like a madman, you can go to this website, for example, which is called Mixamo, which is actually made by Adobe, and for whatever reason, it's free. Let me quickly log into it, so you guys don't see my darkest secrets. Just takes a second while I weirdly look over. So actually you can go to this website, mixamo.com. And what you can get here is a lot of animations, which are actually not too bad. And you can also get a couple of free character models here. Which, if you do like a zombie game, that is also possible. Yeah, it's not that much that is free on the Unity Asset Store. It's even less if you don't want to take anything. But like I said, you have Mixamo, for example, which is a really, really good website for like models and stuff if you don't want anything too fancy. And what actually is also a thing that I like to say to people is going on Humble Bundle. Because usually if you go on the bundles, the chance is insanely high that you find a bundle like, for example, this one. Where you pay 30 bucks for 67 different packs. Which, by the way, usually the MSRP is really the price that you pay for that. And that's how you can get a shit ton of assets really quick for like a quick buck. But also, like Lydia says, you need to pay close attention to the kind of licensing that you get yourself into when you go there. Let's say we want to get a 3D thing, right? Unity Asset Store, by the way, always takes some time to load. And let's say we want, just give us all. Then you can select over here on pricing. You can go like, oh, I want it only for free. Where you can see it's like, on 3D you have like 60,800 assets, and if you click free, it's like 3.3k. Would be common if you don't care about. Yeah, I guess. But I'm not an expert on that one, so don't cite me on that. And as you can see here, you have like all the free models and stuff like that. There is some good things on there, which you can definitely use to make like your first game. Like, for example, I think this one is one of the actually better looking ones if you want to make like a kind of like stylized space thing where you have like only the inside of a space station, for example. That's a pretty good one for free. And then you can see here the license agreement. It actually looks like Subnautica. Here you have like the license agreement, which is standard Unity Asset Store EULA. That means you can use it in whatever you want. Not sure if we can quickly find one that is not that type. I don't think there are any on the Unity Asset Store. But you need to check if you download them from any other game. Like Mixamo is fair use, you can just take it, they don't care. But for example, if you go to like any other site, like even if it's itch.io where you can also find a shit ton of assets, you should watch out that it actually says like cleanly written in the text that you are allowed to use it however you want. Otherwise, you're quickly in for like people going like, oh yeah, this is my asset though, and I don't want him to use it, so give me my money. Just so you know, that is like roughly the amount of stuff you can expect. I think if we check like here on 2D, you only have like 1,000. Like you see, the amount is very limited that you get for free. Usually you need to spend money or look around to find like things and pieces. But okay, let's jump back to our task. I hope this answered your question, like, even a little bit at least. Just to make it like easier. Okay, first of all, we just take everything over, guys, which we know we will further use. Which is everything that has not to do with the jumping around between, is it, I don't want that, close chat. Okay, never mind, he doesn't care. Okay, we work in like less space. So first of all, we just copy over everything that we know is gonna work with the nice new input system. And that is how I would go about trying to figure out how to solve the issue that we have at hand right now. Which is our character going like, I don't give a shit where you want me to be, I'm just gonna go zoom. So we have player move also, which we can take over. Which we only take over everything that is not the old input system, so everything until here. And then we're gonna check, but it's only that one, so we'll take that, and we're gonna get the fixed update, the camera activation bullshit that we all wrote, because we can pretty much say it's probably gonna work. So we're gonna hammer that in, we're gonna save, and we're gonna go back to our project and see that it's going crazy. Yes, copyrighted stuff is literally, they copyright things and models and stuff like that, so that you need to buy them from them, so that you actually pay them for the work they did, which is just a way of protecting their work and not giving it out for free. I mean, imagine you spent like a couple hundred hours to make like the best house model in existence, and someone just steals it from you, makes a game out of it, goes like, oh yeah, this is mine. So yeah. Key could not be found. You are missing a directive or a using statement. What? That could not be possible. I think this could be, oh, Control Z, this could be the problematic one. We're gonna delete it for now, because we can always go back. Okay, that doesn't change shit. That was probably just, yeah, Google AI. Okay, wait a second. Did we get another one when we did it like this? The name keyboard does not exist in the current context. Okay, whatever. Why is he behaving like this? We have all the things in here. Oh, we're fucking dumb. That's what is hindering our progress. Now this should solve, right? This solved the problem. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the simple FP controller script. Remove that and put whatever I wrote there, FP Conto, on it. And you see we have like literally all the other things. What we need to do now is put in like the camera text and the camera controller to test everything else. And let's hit play and see if something changes. He is still going. So now let's check. Yeah, sadly you cannot tell your code to behave any better, but what we have now is a bit more clean code, which we can look through. And first of all, let's check. Actually, I think this might not be a code issue. It could very well be an issue with anything else. Automatic center of mass, automatic tensor, use gravity. Let's not use gravity for one moment, and let's remove everything else to 0. Okay, it's 0.1. That should work. Yep. Okay, it's frozen in the rotation. That makes sense. Player, okay. Let's see if that changes anything. Just to see if we move slower or anything. No, what is funny, we can work against it. Look at that. And let's quickly test if everything else from the controls work. Okay, so we can move. Okay, it might be the script though. It is probably the script. So yeah, we'll need to figure out what is the issue on the player move, which is probably everything. Which could actually be that we're doing this. Since we took our this thing from like a pre-built one in the house map, let's just see what happens if we remove fixed update. This is now literally playing detective, but the funny part about it, I'm not only the detective, I'm also the murderer, the murdered, and the killer. So that is always fun to do. That is like most of the time we gonna do. Okay, so camera movement is still working. The buttons are kind of doing shit. It's stopping us in the tracks, and we're gonna go up. So we're gonna say use gravity. We're gonna go like 1. We're gonna check if we still fly. Yeah, we're still flying. Okay, angular dampening, and let's do a couple of those. Hey, Galaxy the Imposter, how are you?
Hello.
Okay, let's see if that changes anything. It just makes us fly again. Oh no, Lydia. Sorry for you guys in Ad Hell. Okay, we're gonna need to figure out what is actually going on in here. Which for me, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, we can take a development break. Tell me, guys, when you're back out of your ad hell. I know you cannot hear me. We will just wait for you guys a little bit. Shouldn't be that long. And afterwards, we can also try to program one of those funny bots in Streambot, so that we have that. Okay, have fun. See you later, Vent. Okay, so we know the camera is pretty much working. So we can leave that how it is. the question is, why is the character moving all weirdly? So we're calling, let's go through this, how it's gonna work. We have an update which is triggered every frame, which is also looking for player move. On player move, we check if the keyboard is pressed in a certain direction, so we can have our run speed, or if we move in a certain direction. And we're calling that with the controller to move the character. Mind you guys, this is actually only happening since we updated today to 6.2 in Unity, which might be a change in how anything works. So what we can do is, oh, you guys are back, by the way, from the ad hell? Perfect. If you guys want, we can also go and try and make one of those things like Argo has that goes like, ads are starting, ads are dead, on the side. Okay, what we can do is we can actually ask the AI that is in this IDE real quick. My character is sliding non-stop with this script. Okay, so it's actually the fixed update, he thinks, which would make sense. Because I think calling it double is like, whatever. Let's see if the AI quickly fixes it for us so we don't need to look for answers non-stop. But otherwise we can just do it by hand. Because I'm pretty sure what we can do is literally call whatever we want. So we have controller move forward. So instead of forward move true, we're gonna just put this in. Backwards move, like he's also fucking slow in doing that. Backwards move true, we put that in. Move left. Left move, we put that in. Right move, we put that in. We're gonna take all of this out. Hey Faber, how is Thailand? Let's check if we broke anything or if it works. Okay, that is already like a good thing. Okay, we're still flying, but we can move. And I have a feeling that... Do we have a jumping function? Oh, damn. Okay, what we also can do is we can freeze the y-axis, guys. Don't tell anyone. Rain and thunder the whole day. Rip. That sounds like shit. Oh, guys, look at this. The movement isn't perfect, but he is also... Oh, never mind. He is still sliding. And also he is doing this weird thing. Let's see if we can activate the camera. Okay, we can still activate the camera, which is good. Okay, now we just need to figure out what's the issue here. Because freezing the y-axis is also not what we want to do. So we might need to look deeper into the code. Okay, we now have the player moving thing, everything set up. Which also means we can take out... I mean, we can leave that in, it's like, whatever. Wait, my butt is hurt? Oh. Our hard-working politicians. Why is it going crazy? We have all the things here. At the start, there is nothing that should be making us pushed around. Wait, you uninstalled WhatsApp, Lydia? What are we using then to communicate? Discord, which gets hacked nonstop? Or do you want to instantly... I just wanted to say, or do you want instantly being on the insanely blacklisted websites where you be a terrorist instantly, which is called Telegram? Huh. I mean, guys, do you see how he's still waiting around? Let's hit accept and see what he changes. He puts in gravity, he puts in ground drag and a velocity. He puts all that in and he puts the update back. Holy shit, now he goes crazy. Okay, let's just see if that works, because that is actually nothing I would have thought of. And let's see how badly it crashes out now. It didn't. Okay, let's see. Maybe the AI has gotten better at this and we can actually use it to... Oh, damn, it kinda works better now, guys. Would you look at that? I didn't believe that would help. Let's go through what he actually changed. I mean, obviously, what stops us from floating around is that he gave us, like, just a simple gravity up here. And a ground drag, which, like, makes it so that we're not running around like floaty all this time. And a velocity, which is just a factor 3, where he says, like, go that side, or, like this. You probably remembered that from school, where your science teacher was like, fuck you guys, make that work. And then he changed the whole thing here, which, yeah, makes a lot more sense. He basically applies to the vector 3 where we want to move. He normalized the movement, which is also fine. He gives the movement and makes it like work with time spent. He also makes us so we're grounded all the time. And he adds the ground drag so we're not floating off. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, actually not too bad from the AI. We can live with that. Which brings us to the next step we want to work on. The only thing is still, like, we don't have a really smooth way when we change directions. Like, it's working fine, it looks fine if we do like this. But if we go back and forth, it's like a weird thing because the model changes. Also, we cannot move anymore while we're in the cameras, which is great. Oh, Kakis, how are you? Even though I have to say I forgot which button we bound to leaving the cameras. So we should check that one out real quick. Actually, camera deactivation was the V key, which does not work anymore. I'm good as well. Just a bit frustrated with how Unity is having like a million years of fucking security vulnerabilities, forcing me to update the project to a different version of Unity mid-development. So we now need to do like an insane amount of bug testing, bug fixing to make everything work again how it was before. Keyboard current camera deactivation is pressed on camera deactivation, on camera deactivation. If keyboard current camera is pressed, camera controller camera deactivation. Oof, Unreal. Then I would need to learn all the things on Unreal, and also my PC cannot handle Unreal Engine 5 really good. The editor kills my PC, which would probably mean I would not be able to stream at all when I'll use it, because that just is so insane on like how hard it hits. We have the camera controller in here though. Let's see if on-camera deactivation is actually firing. A debug log camera deactivation. Let's look at that. I mean, Unreal is open source, so obviously, yeah, it's safer to a degree, but it also depends on what kind of thing you download from there. Okay, camera deactivation is fired, but camera deactivation is not being called on the camera controller, so we need to check out the camera controller we have made. So why is... Oh, actually, what we should check real quick also before we go into... Before we go into fixing that one bug that we should check out is... Okay, the rest is working though. It's only... Oh, and now it works? What? Wait, is that like a weird bug that's happening from time to time only? Okay, what we definitely see is that we can change the camera still if we just press the camera button, which shouldn't be possible, so we need to look at this. If camera controller is active. Okay, never mind, that is this. Damn, guys, we have a lot to bug fix. If camera controller is active, we're gonna call this one. We don't need an else because, like, let's be real, it shouldn't do anything. And then we're gonna do like on previous camera, the same as we did before. Let's check if that fixes the bug. Okay, we cannot turn around here anymore on the cameras. We can go to the camera and we can switch the camera still. We can leave. Okay, never mind. We fixed that bug. And now the game is actually in a kind of better state than it was before. Would you look at that? That is what I call progress. We'll go through a shit ton of tiny little mistakes until we reach a point where it's actually not too bad. Okay, so what we want to do today as well is hopefully make enemy pathing between the two TVs. Which I have to say, I have no clue how to do it, because that is the first time I'm actually making a game where I need to do like pathing. So what we want to do is literally make a straight line probably between like one TV and the other, and make the AI for our ghost to start going there once it spawns. So we'll definitely need to go into the enemy script which has, as you can see, literally nothing in it. What I want to do first is probably look into Unity enemy pathing to see if there is like an easy way to implement that. Which is probably not, because I think pathing is probably like one of the most annoying things that we could do. And yep, like I thought, there's not much in there for it. So we're gonna move that window over to the side. We are creating a game that is like, how do I explain it best? We wanted to make a game where you have to look through the camera like in Dead Signal and find stuff that changes. But also you need to fend off different types of ghosts. And try to survive till like 6 in the morning. So for our MVP, we decided to scrap all the find things on the camera stuff and go with the route where we say, okay, we have one ghost and we want to make it work. And we're also going to create like a small test map, which is this one, to see if the functionalities are in. The first ghost is one that spawns on TVs and moves from TV to TV and disappears again. And then we'll do the same on another TV. But also it will be hunting the player once he is in her line of sight, which I also need to learn how to do. And you can defeat her by... I think... Wait, could we defeat her? I'm not sure if we could defeat her. I need to look at the document again. But yeah, we literally figured that out in like a huge stream where we talked about what a design document is, and then going over creating our own design document, and then creating our own MVP chart, so we could all do all that we need to. And right now we're working on like the MVP, which is like the one ghost type. And since that vulnerability on Unity's end, we needed to redo a shit ton of stuff right now, which took us like the first hour of the stream. And yeah, that is how far we are right now. And right now I'm trying to figure out and learn how to make enemy pathing. So what we can do though is we go into our assets, we go into our prefabs and into our enemies, and we have fake Sadako, which right now has only the spawn point and the spawn point transform. So we probably need to rework that as well, because she is gonna have multiple spawn points. So she needs a list of spawn points. So actually what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back into our script. We already have a TV ghost script, which is perfect. We need to using Unity, not Unity, I think it's Microsoft. Okay, never mind. It's gonna say to us what we need. We're gonna have a public list game object. No, it's not game object. It should be a trans. Oh no, it's actually a game object, and we call them TVs. And we are gonna need system collections generic, otherwise we don't have the list. And he goes off of enemy base. That is correct. And when we need definitely a public void on activate, which we don't take this in because we just want to prepare stuff mentally already. We're gonna have one on deactivate. We're gonna have one on destroy, definitely, because there is gonna be a way of killing her, I guess. And then we're gonna have a public void pathing, which our IDE does actually not have any clue what we want with, otherwise he would have said anything. So yeah, we have the string, we have this, we have all that in here, which is fine. So on activate, we're gonna create a random number. For here to select one of the public list game objects from in there. So on start, we're gonna do random. Probably gonna need to import something on that random equals new random equals new random int random index, and then that TV random index, and then it's actually gonna be spawn point is gonna be that one. So if she activates, she is gonna select one of the 2 TVs that we have in here as her spawn point. Let's see if we can make her spawn on a different TV than she is on before. For that though, the name spawn point doesn't exist in the current context. What do you mean it doesn't exist in the current context? Oh, it doesn't exist in the current context. That's what he meant. Okay, cannot declare variable of the static type random. Yep, that is probably gonna be that one. Okay. Random is an ambiguous reference between Unity and okay. So it's gonna be system.random equals a new system.random. That happens if you have 2 times the same name in 2 different namespaces. And that should actually clear up the confusion. It did. Perfect. So now we can go back into our assets, into our prefabs, into our enemies, into our fake Sadako. We're gonna open her up. And we're gonna go back to our scripts because now she will lose the TV Ghost script. And, oh, never mind. She is getting the TV Ghost script. Fake Sadako. And her spawn point is gonna be empty because we don't need that. We also don't need the transform right now. We're gonna do like this and this. And we're gonna go back to our scene because she is done now. We're gonna hit save real quick for it to save. We're gonna go back to the game scene. Yes, save. And we're gonna drop her in. Enemies, fake Sadako. There she is now. Look at her, how happy she is. And we're gonna actually go like this. TV Ghost, fake Sadako. There you have that. Fake Sadako. Okay, so we have the list of TVs. So we're gonna drag them in here just like that. So now we have the two ones. What we already also need to do is change the spawn point transform to spawn point transform. Otherwise we don't have the transform for her, which should actually work. Can we just go and say that we want to replace? Never mind. I would love if we could just put it in as a prefab as it is right now, but we cannot. Which honestly kind of sucks right now, because that is another problem I kind of have. Well, actually on start, this dot is active equals false, and on activate, well, does it, what does it, oh, it calls a prefab though, right? Yeah. We're gonna remove that real quick again. Save again. We're gonna check how we set up the game manager. Game manager. Yeah, because the enemy is now missing. We can put in our fake Sadako here though, which is referenced like this right now. So we're gonna go in here, we're gonna delete that fake Sadako, and we're gonna put in that fake Sadako, which now has all the things like this. So we're gonna put in this TV and this TV. What happens if we just place them here? Okay, never mind. Let's try it out, I guess, and see if she is spawning at all. Okay. Well, he will never have a start method because every ghost has its own behavior. And he will gonna call on activate, which should override this, which should mean it works. Let's test it out. Okay, the spawn point has not been assigned, so what we're gonna do is do that. And we're gonna ignore the on activate thing. Let's see if that works. Like I said, guys, happy little accidents. We'll make them work. Welcome back, Lydia. Okay, the spawn point transform is not going on it. Which kind of sucks. What do we play after the dev stream? That's a good question, actually. If you have any suggestions, I'm very open for them. Otherwise, fast with Twitch alerts. Yeah, I mean, we could go for a round of fast or two afterwards and activate all the Twitch things. Okay, guys, but now let's think. Why is our enemy base, our TV ghost, not triggering its start method? This is probably something to do with our other scripts, which is the game manager, I wanted to say. And where we have spawn enemy, and here we have the problem. That we have the instantiate method, which probably doesn't work without those two things. Let's see if that works. Hey, Div Sharp, we are trying to make a ghost spawn from two different TVs. We're trying to make a horror game. I mean, at least the TV ghost spawned. We're trying to make a horror game in which you have to survive a night fighting off ghosts that are roaming in this house. And right now we're trying to figure out how to make that happening. We're working on scripts to make the ghost actually spawn from TV to TV. But since I'm neither very competent on the new Unity systems, like at all, and most of the old neither, and this is my first time trying to make a 3D game, I thought that would be a good learning experiment and also show people that it's not hard to don't know things. And if you want to get into game development, you should just start. Doesn't matter if you're good at it or bad at it. Yes, I like to call myself the Bob Ross of programming, but only because I do so many mistakes and try to play them off as cool. Okay, at start, we need to find all the TVs in the list. But I need to pee real quick, guys. So be right back with you. Look at the code and figure out a way to make it work. It's fine if you just go and backseat me right there. But I need to pee. I'm back, guys. My errors in the code were literally right now that we assigned starting points and transforms on the Game manager on instantiating an enemy, which obviously fires back if the enemy needs to be spawned, activated to call this function on the start, where it looks for the TVs and puts in a random TV from the list. So how we will solve this is we're gonna make a new tag, which is gonna be called a TV. And we're gonna assign that to literally all the TVs. And then we're gonna make a list on start with all the TVs. Oh, the problem right now is just me figuring out the steps I need to take in order to make it work. So right now I'm working on filling the list with of TVs here. And making them automatically filled in, because in the prefab I obviously cannot fill in all the TVs from the scene already. So we're gonna make that automated. So it's probably gonna be... Yes, exactly. So every time this ghost spawns anew, it should take a new TV as its starting point. No, the ghost should just take the TV and then start roaming from there to over another one. But right now I'm just working on going to a TV, starting from a different TV every time. So what we do is like, we're gonna say TVs is like all of those to a list, which should, by the way, actually do the trick already. Does not contain a definition to list and not accessible to list. That is the beauty of everything else. Let me quickly check. I looked up the documentation for that. So it's... Oh yeah, no. Now I see the error. New list. Game object. And then it should look like this, apparently, according to the Unity documentation. Oh yeah, excuse me. We should actually think about like Easter eggs on those TV screens at some point. We didn't hit save. Now we saved. Let's see if it throws an error again. It doesn't. We'll like to see that on here. Okay, let's see. We press that button. We don't get an error. And he spawns over here. Let's redo that like a couple times. I know I could probably do like a button to despawn the enemy right now, but let's just see if he's always spawning on the same one. Okay, he chose TV1 over TV. Because we also need to check if TV has like a fucked up behavior on his thing. Did he take TV1 again? No. Okay, now we see though that the transform for TV is not working. We can see the TV that was chosen right here, and also the element right here. What interested me was if the transform that we choose is kind of fucked, which I guess it is, because he spawns at the same point every time and not over at the other one. So that is an issue. But the position is actually a different one. Both times, who would have thought? So I'm gonna quickly go to Google and check out what is the issue right here. Points. thank you, Div Sharp. Thank you, thank you. Really glad to hear that. I hope it's not too boring watching me figuring out how to do stuff. But I think it's a nice thing for people to see that even if you have like general programming knowledge, or even if you have no idea at all what you're doing, that it's a nice thing to just go in and try it. And even if you get hit by a wall, just try to get through that. Okay, it's nice how I find literally the opposite problem when I Google my problem. So literally the first Google results are my object spawns in different positions every time, and I'm like, huh, really? Because mine surely doesn't. Okay, it's probably to do something with like how we call position. Spawn point TV's random index, that is working. We saw that right here on the thingy, that it takes that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna say the spawn point transform, and we're gonna debug that actually. Plus with index plus instead of giving me spawn point transform once, no. Actually, we're just gonna take the spawn point transform there. We're gonna save. We're gonna look what is the problem right now. Because it could also be that... Oh, I know the problem probably. It will spawn at the exact same position again, obviously. Which makes sense because we just instantiate the enemy, yes, which is like the enemy, period. We don't assign the spawn point transform. So what we'll actually also need to do is we need to move the model there. Which I need to check how to do that. Which is probably just one line of code, easily put in there, but that is... Yeah. It's literally in the official Unity documentation. So we're gonna do it like this. Does not game object does not contain a position and no accessible method position accepting the first argument. Okay, never mind. Transform. Does that work? Ooh. Did we solve the problem, guys? Is this another Bob Ross of game development moment? Would you look at that? Sleep well. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for the subscribe. Really appreciate that. Love you. Bye-bye. Okay, he choose... Let's check that he choose one again. Okay, he choose the normal TV again. Let's check that one more time. I'm really stoked right now, guys. Okay, now he's only choosing one. Let's see if he's choosing two as well. Please. Yes, he is. So there you have it, guys. He is spawning now where he should be. Isn't that insane? We are making actual progress now. Okay, he also needs another game object, which is gonna be public game object goal. Pretty simple, right? So after we have this TV's list set up, we're gonna tell him that he needs one TV that is gonna be his goal TV. So we're gonna say, we're actually gonna create another random. And we're gonna do this, and we're gonna say, while it's the same index as the TV that we had before, re-roll it until you can go down here, which is just a normal loop. And that should actually make it work. Let's see if it fires. Let's just look if it fires, because I think it's always good to just check if there is something changing in the behavior when we do that. Fake Sadako clone. We are public game object goal. Okay. Did we? Oh. Like I said, guys, happy little accidents. Sometimes you don't, what is this? Or the name goal transform. Oh. We also need the transform goal transform. Otherwise, it's not gonna work, obviously. Okay, let's see if that works as well. And then we only need to make her walk towards it. Okay, she's spawning still. She is still there. The TV is a different one than her goal. Okay. Perfect. And now let's just check how to move a game object to another transform by but not by teleporting. Let's check that one out. Okay, so I think I made this like far more complicated than I needed it to be. For one, but for another we need a float that is speed, obviously. Public float speed. Let's not go 10f. I think 10f is pretty fast. Let's go 5f. And then we already have the goal transform, which is great. And in the update method, we're gonna just call a transform position move towards. Actually, yes, this all. And that should actually do the trick according to the documentation for Unity. Let's see if she walks. Let's see if anything breaks right now. Okay, guys, are you ready to see our baby fake Sadako walk for the first time? Look at that, she is walking. Our baby made her first steps, guys. Can you believe that? I'm so proud of her. Okay, now we kind of need to do it though. That if she hits the trigger for her goal, or like hits the goal, she despawns. So we're not gonna destroy her. Well, actually, let's destroy her. So we can see if that actually works. No, she didn't call me Papa yet. Because if we can just make it over checking the positions, that will be making it a shit ton easier. Oh no, baby Sadako, why aren't you walking? Wait, is it because... Wait, what? How could that make it not work anymore? Let's check again if it starts working now again. Because if so, I'm confused as fuck. Look, now she's walking again. Let's see if it works when she spawns from the other TV as well. Oh, that TV seems to be the issue. Oh, never mind, it is not. Huh. But if transform position equals the goal transform position, okay, let's see what happens if we put that in, so that she just runs in a loop, basically. And is not getting destroyed, so we can watch a little bit longer to see where the error is coming from. That we just observed. Okay, we're gonna go a bit to the side, so we can actually watch better. Like this. We're gonna spawn her. And for whatever reason, that if statement kills it. Oh well, sadly it's out of the window then to do it like this. We cannot go for a trigger on TV tech though. Which sucks. Let's just check the internet again. Okay, so apparently it is, you cannot check correctly for if it has the same position, so that's why it broke probably. I mean, it doesn't really make sense that it broke, but who cares? Apparently what we need is also a public float for a tolerance. Distance threshold, we can also take that. And apparently that is actually what we need to do, is like checking if both of them are close enough. So let's test this out. Could be that it works. I wouldn't know why if I do a conditional statement like does it equal, but let's see. Okay, let's try it again and see if she's starting to run from the other side. Or if our if statements... Oh, now she's walking. Now, oh my god, she's walking. And she says, oh my god, what the hell? Why does it not work every time? Okay, never mind. Maybe it just needed like one try to actually work. Okay, why is it like a 50-50 if she moves or not? Can you guys explain to me? Also, she shouldn't be deleting herself if she is on that one, because that is literally not what it should be doing. Maybe she's Sudokus. Actually, let's see if this is actually getting fired by debug. Goal reached, yep. So we can actually check for her if she is getting stuck on like one of the TVs. If she is actually like stuck, or if she thinks that there is a goal that she reached. Okay, that one is gonna be goal reached, right? Yep. But that one also worked. Okay, it worked again. Is she now afraid of me debugging what she does? Okay, that didn't work, and there she breaks, and it says goal reached. Okay. Oh. Yeah, makes sense. That actually... You guys want to know what happens? Sometimes the model gets stuck because she spawns directly in it. So that is what happens. We finished one bug and we introduced like a couple others. Let's place like a couple more TVs now though. And try to figure out if she walks differently if there is like a bunch of other TVs. And if different TVs get chosen. Which is nice because since we put it in just a random list, we can probably see her move from like a couple different angles now. Or get stuck from a couple different angles. Oh look, she's walking towards a new TV. Okay, but now we don't want her to be destroyed. We want her to be this dot is active false. No. We want to wait time 0.5f, and then we want to this dot is active true. What we also want to do is we'll take all of this and put it in the onActivate. We're gonna put here onActivate, and since we want to call onActivate here again to get a random TV now again, this should work. Does not contain, and no accessible extension method is. Okay, so is active does not work, I guess. Maybe. Oh, also like... Okay, actually what we're gonna do is we're gonna just do it like this. We're gonna leave the waiting time out right now. And we're gonna check if that works. So we have a loop of her literally going from one TV to another, non-stop. Let's see if that worked out. Okay, we can spawn her. There she's going. She disappeared, and there she's going again. And she disappeared, and she's going again. And she disappeared, and she's going again. And she missed the TV. No, never mind. So I think, guys, we can say it's working perfectly fine, right? This is what I call working as intended. Well, we're testing if everything works. It is obviously not. Well, what she does is she spawns from different TVs, and it actually works that we get the different things in. So that is nice. What we probably want to do... I mean, this runs through completely beforehand, so that the order shouldn't matter too much. So what we want now is we have a public float wait time, which is like, let's just say 10F, which should be 10 seconds. And we're gonna also make a boolean. Public, oh yeah, actually we also need that public float time wait timer. We also take this one, but it is false, yeah, it's fine. On activate is active is gonna go to true. And here we're gonna go is active false. Wait timer is 0F. Wait timer like this. Okay, perfect. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna give the wait timer 1 every time a second passes. And when the wait timer is here, it's gonna go this. And then we're gonna say wait timer equals 0F. And just like that, we should maybe see her work again. Let's see though. Okay, we'll drink, let her run. Okay, guys, you see she reaches the goal like a couple times. Because now she's not despawning, obviously. But hopefully in a couple of seconds, she should switch around which TV she wants to go to and where she is, right? Oh no, it's not, because the wait timer is always going crazy. Perfect. So we need to disable her. Let's see if we find the answer on the almighty internet. Oh. And yeah, it would have been so easy if I'm not fucking dumb and look at that stupid this dot set active false. Then we'll wait for the on activate and set it to true again. Actually, we're not gonna set it here. We're gonna set it right here. This is gonna go out. And that is one of the pitfalls you have if you go for looking at IntelliSense answers, because they're not always your friend though. Okay, why does it not contain a definition for set active? It is a game object after all. Let's check Google again. Okay, is actually this the problem? We should just call game object. Well, if that is the answer, that would be insane. Apparently it is the answer. Oh my god. Okay, let's see what happens now. She is going, she is going, she is going. Now we wait like a couple of seconds and then she should be reappearing. But she is not reappearing. So that means more Googling. We probably need to do that outside of the class because set active false probably stops everything running, which makes a lot of sense. Well, we could... We could go into the game manager and do stuff there. Which is like... Oh, that one is a tougher one to crack, I think. Because right now when we get the game manager out, he will literally like delete that from the list to not spawn her multiple times. What we could do is give the game manager a second list, which is public list enemy base spawned enemies, and when we spawn an enemy, well, he's not kicking it out though. He's not kicking it out. What we could probably do is go prefab. We don't need that one then. The type of namespace prefab. Is there like another one we can? No. Okay, we go to the game manager and we have fake Sadako in there. If we go and do like prefabs and click on the game manager, can we drag fake Sadako prefab in there? Let's do no enemy base, and then we go game manager, fake Sadako. Okay, perfect. We're gonna hit play. Oh, we're gonna save the TV ghost thing. What are you bitching about? Oh wait, the name. Never mind. Like, why is he bitching? Oh, because this is still wrong. Okay, so now he should stop bitching about, right? He is not bitching anymore. Perfect. Let's see if Sadako is moving. Oh, I actually forgot to put something in. TV Ghost will actually gonna just destroy and see if we can resummon her. Since now it's not a game object that he summons, but a prefab. Okay, let's activate the game manager to see. Okay, he's going, she's going. Boop. Okay, and since if we do like 10, we can respawn her. We can respawn her again. We can respawn her again. She gets like really weird speed. But now it seems to be working kind of like intended, except for when she spawns at this one. And she will literally go weird ways at some point. But okay, so what we need to do is we need to figure out why and how we go like remove the enemies on enemy dead. Yep. Whoop. What we don't have in here just now is actually checking if how do we check for well, what we could do is a enemy ghost base thing. We could go with a public bool is active is true, since that only fires whenever it's going. And before the destroy, we say is active false. And what we could do is, not sure how well implemented that would be. But we could check this one and check if it would actually drop the current enemies back to 0 again. Which hypothetically it should do now, because we're checking every time. But that depends kind of on like if it's fast enough on tracking. Okay, there goes the ghost. She goes in here. And the current enemy's timer is not going down. Oh yeah, enemy dead is also wrong. Current enemies minus minus. Let's check if that works. Okay, we're gonna spawn her. We have one enemy current. And they are dying too fast. Yeah, I love Ceribot as well. He is the fastest banner in the West, even faster as you and Sisui, which is insane actually. Oh, if we can do it like that, that would be perfect. Game manager does not in this, of course. But can we do it like this? We give every ghost a public game manager game manager? Can we do that? An object reference is required. Yeah, I guess we cannot do that like this, sadly. Which means I need another way to figure out how to do that thing. Huh. Enemy that should be fired here. Oh, actually, if we do it like this could work out. Kinda not the smartest tool in the chat, but that could actually work. Now he's still bitching about that we have game manager somewhere in here. We don't. Oh, never mind. He's not bitching out anymore. Whatever. Okay, let's see. Does it work? Well, it hits the goal a couple of times. Let's look. Is fake, Sadako, is active, is false. Okay, let's see if it starts on true. Maybe I did a mistake. Okay, it starts on true, and once she hits, it goes to false. But the game manager is not giving a damn shit about it. Let's check if we even can do a loop. A loop in update. Maybe that is actually not possible. Um, Let's see how that is going. Okay, we're gonna take our code. And just throw it in there to see if that is doing anything. Let's see if there is a problem with it. Okay, apparently there is a functionality to let the enemy handle this by themselves, which I'm actually gonna try out because this is obviously not doing it. So what we apparently can do, and that would go into the enemy base class, is a public void enemy dat game manager instant. That is not what we want to do. We're gonna do find game object of type game manager dot enemy dat, and we'll give it this, and then we're gonna destroy this dot game object. Actually, we don't need to do that. Let's see if that works, because I will be pretty stoked if we get it to work. Okay, it reached the goal, but it's not dying. So it's safe to say it's not firing that one. Oh yeah. Okay, if that is this, then do enemy dat. Let's see if it works, guys. Don't know why I forgot to put it in update so it never fires anything. Okay, he's going. He reached his goal. We forgot to put set active somewhere, I guess. TV ghost. Is active equals false. Enemy base. Okay, we're gonna make like... We're gonna make it like this. If is active, it is false. So once goal reached is hit, is active is false, and then actually we're gonna call this above it. So we're gonna check that if it's not true anymore, it's gonna kill it. Let's see if that works, because that would be pretty swell. Let's see. Okay, he's slowly moving forwards. Okay, he reached the goal, he got destroyed. Game manager has 0 active enemies. He's going again. Don't mind him going off to whatever. But now it actually works, guys. Look at this. He's going, he's despawning. It's by no means perfect or anything, but it's doable. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you. Like, look at this. He's going into a TV, not all the time, but like fairly often. It could also be that I made a mistake when we were dragging the TVs around. Not 100% sure if I maybe did a oopsie. Let's actually try that to see if we can change the behavior. We're gonna put a TV here, we're gonna put a TV here, and we're gonna put a TV here and turn it around. Like this. And let's see if that fixes the issue where it's running like a little bit crazy. Also, those TVs are now like a... Holy shit, guys, I think I broke it. Unity is crashing hard. Oh, obviously, because I'm a dumbass. We haven't changed the prefab to have the TV tag. So it might be crashing right now really hard. Is the stream still going? Can you guys still hear me? Or did I crash the PC as a total? Okay, I think we need to kill the process. Because the Unity editor is going nowhere anymore. So we're gonna open up the project again. Yes, open everything like it was before. This is gonna take a second, guys. It is Unity after all, so... Okay, there we are back. Let's go into the prefabs. And let's tag this bad boy a TV. And we'll save it. Good, perfect. And now let's place them in the scene. Like this. This one's a TV. Okay, now all of them are TVs. So we can hit play. Okay, that didn't save as well. Boop, boop. I mean, it's not perfect or anything, but it is definitely... Welcome back. It is definitely doing its thing. Which means we have made quite the progress. Which I think we can all be pretty proud of. So, yeah. So how about it, guys, and we go play like a round or two of Phasmophobia. I think that's a good idea and a good point to stop. For that, to not dox myself, I'm gonna go like the big screen, guys. We're gonna save the Unity process in the background real quick. And close down all the windows. We're gonna start fast on the side, and I will also activate for all of you guys the funny things that you love to do with me. But first of all, we need to change the YouTube and Twitch stream things. So give me one moment, please, guys. If you would be so kind. Because I need to change around a lot of things. So YouTube is changed already, guys. GG. Let's go to Twitch as well.